Welcome to the Ultimate Sports Podcast. Today is Thursday, September 5th, 2019. Today I'm going to recap yesterday's quarterfinal matches in the U.S. Open in both the men's and the women's. Look ahead to the semifinals. Baseball. Go over games from yesterday. Look ahead to today's games. FIBA Basketball World Cup. Look ahead to tomorrow and recap this morning's games. Pick the Bears-Packers game for tonight, 8 o'clock on NBC. And my best bet of the day. Okay, we're going to start with tennis. We had some fantastic matches last night. We're going to start with the long one that really got everybody excited. Matteo Berrettini over Gael Monfils in 5 sets. That was just a sensational match as Berrettini advances to the semifinal. Then you had Rafael Nadal defeat Diego Schwartzman in 3 sets, and Nadal will advance. Although Schwartzman was competitive for a while. Got to give him his proper credit. And then tomorrow, you have Daniil Medvedev against Igor Dimitrov and Matteo Berrettini against Rafael Nadal. They're both going to be going off, it looks like, in the morning, although there could be some issues with the weather. I am going to pick Medvedev on the one side and Nadal on the other. So you'd have a Medvedev against Nadal final. Derek thinks that Medvedev will win. I think Nadal will win. Now we'll switch over to the women's side of things. Some interesting results yesterday. You have Belinda Bencic over Donna Vekic in 2 sets, and Bianca Andreescu over Elise Mertens in 3 sets. I took Mertens yesterday and I was wrong, and I took Bencic and I was right. Now today is actually the semifinal, 7 o'clock ESPN, Elina Svitolina and Serena Williams. That's going to be a really fun match. I think this is actually the real final. The winner of this match will win it all, I think, and that will be Miss Serena Williams. So give me Serena in the first match of the night, the 9 o'clock on ESPN. You have Belinda Bencic against Bianca Andreescu. This is going to be a ton of fun. And guess what? I'm going to go with an upset here. I'm going to go with Andreescu. I really like how she's performed in this tournament, and I think she has a chip on her shoulder. I'm going to say this is the better matchup of the two, and I think that Andreescu is going to win and take on Serena in the final. Although I think Svitolina has a chance to beat Serena, absolutely, but I just think that the later match is going to be the better match, and then you'll have a Serena versus Andreescu final, which would be pretty neat to watch. Okay, now I'm going to go to baseball. I'm going to go over yesterday's games and look ahead to today's games. Some interesting results from yesterday. The Mets bounced back after that dreadful loss and defeat the Washington Nationals by a score of 8-4. The Mets are 71-68. The Nats are 78-60. Zach Wheeler to win. Anibal Sanchez the loss. Wheeler 5 innings, 7 hits and a run, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, ERA 4.33. Sanchez 5 innings, 8 hits, 7 runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, ERA 4.11. Reds over the Phillies 8-5. The Reds are 65-75. The Phillies are 72-66. Michael Lorenzen the win. Jose Alvarez the loss. Raciel Iglesias the save. Trevor Bauer 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, ERA 8.23. He's just been dreadful as a member of the Reds. Aaron Nola, not a good outing for him either. 4 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, ERA 3.63. Yankees over the Rangers 4-1 as they take the series after losing the first game in dreadful fashion, which ended their shutout streak. Yankees are 92-49, the best record in baseball. Texas 68-73. Luis Cessa with the win. Lance Lynn the loss. Chad Green was the opener. He was fine. 2 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 4 strikeouts, ERA 4.84. He's turned his season around. Luis Cessa followed him. 3 innings, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts, ERA 3.82. Cessa's quietly having the best year of his career for the Yankees. And Lance Lynn of the Rangers pitched fine. but he didn't get run support. 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, walks, 7 strikeouts, ERA 3.81. Pirates over the Marlins 6-5. The Pirates are 61-78. Miami is 49-89. Getting the win for the Pirates, Wei Chung Wong, and Jose Urena gets the loss. Trevor Williams, 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 6 strikeouts, ERA 5.16. And by the way, this game ended on a walk-off single by Brian Reynolds, a 2-run single, and then Elias Diaz homer to make it a 1-run game. So the Marlins had a lead going into the 9th inning, but Urena blew the save. Ryan Duggar, 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, ERA of 4. Indians over the White Sox 8-6. Cleveland gets a big win, 81-59. Chicago 61-78. Shane Bieber the win. Ivan Nova the loss. Nick Wickern the save. Shane Bieber 7 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts, ERA 3.24. Ivan Nova 4 2/3 innings. 1/3. 11 hits, 6 runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout, ERA 4.69. So he's regressed a little bit after that hot run he's had. Red Sox over the Twins 6-2. Boston 75-64. Minnesota 86-53. Eduardo Rodriguez the win. Jose Berrios the loss. Brandon Workman the save. Rodriguez 7 innings, 5 hits, no runs, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, ERA 3.81. Berrios 5 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, ERA 3.78. Giants over the Cardinals 9-8. This was a wild game. Carlos Martinez blew the save in this game. I'm sorry, it was Giovanni Gallegos that was charged with the blown save here. You had Taylor Rogers get the win. Giovanni Gallegos with the loss. Will Smith the save. Madison Bumgarner started. He wasn't good in this game. 5 innings, 9 hits, 6 runs, a walk, 2 strikeouts, rate 3.81. He was pitching really well for a while after the trade deadline, after all those rumors that the Giants were probably going to trade him, but they went on that hot run to convince themselves that they were still in it, but that obviously looks like a mistake. Starting for the Cardinals was Michael Wacha, 2 innings, 2 hits, no runs, a walk, 2 strikeouts, ERA 4.98. I wonder if they just used him as an opener or if he got hurt. We'll see. Royals over the Tigers 5-4. Kansas City is 51-89. Detroit 40-97. Jacob Junis the win. Edwin Jackson the loss. Ian Kennedy with the save. Junis 7 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, a walk, 4 strikeouts, ERA 4.94. Jackson 5 innings, 9 hits, 4 runs, a walk, 3 strikeouts, ERA 9.16. Diamondbacks over the Padres 4-1. The Diamondbacks are 73-67. They're making it interesting in the NL wild card. San Diego 64-75. Zach Gallen the win. Craig Stammen the loss. Archie Bradley the save. Gallen 7 innings, 1 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, ERA 2.5. That was a sneaky under the radar good pickup by Arizona, and they gave up a heavy price to get him. Paddock 5 1/3 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, ERA 3.54. He really hasn't been the same pitcher since he's come back from that minor league stint. Athletics over the Angels 4-0, a big win for the A's. 80-58. LA 65-75. Tanner Roark the win. Patrick Sandoval the loss. Roark 6 2/3 innings, 5 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, ERA 3.86. Well, quality outing for him. Patrick Sandoval 3 1/3 innings, a hit and a run, a walk, 3 strikeouts, ERA 4.91. A little extended time for an opener there. Dodgers over the Rockies 7-3. The Dodgers are 92-50. Colorado 59-82. Adam Koralik the win. Antonio Senzatalo the loss. Asian Ryu started 4 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts, ERA 2.45. They probably pulled him because the pitch count was at 93. Senzatalo 3 innings, 4 hits, 5 runs, a walk, and the strikeout, ERA 7.19. Today's games, 12:30. Reds hosting the Phillies. It's the final game of that series. Jason Vargas and Sonny Gray. White Sox Indians at 1 o'clock. Reynaldo Lopez and Zach Plesac, final game of that series. Tigers Royals, getaway game 2. Matt Boyd and George Sparkman. That's a 1:15 game, as well as Giants Cardinals. You have Dakota Hudson for St. Louis and Logan Webb for San Francisco. 3:30 Angels Athletics. You have Brett Anderson for Oakland and Luke Bard for the Angels. I wonder if Bard's just an opener in this situation. 7 o'clock, Marlins Pirates. That's the finale of that series as well. Alicia Hernandez and Daryl Grazel. Rangers Orioles from Camden Yards. Colby Allard and Jalen Means. Cubs Brewers. Jose Quintana and Chase Anderson. That's a start to a big 4-game set down in Miller Park. Finale of Twins Red Sox. Martin Perez and Nathan Eovaldi. Blue Jays Rays. Trent Thornton and Austin Pruitt. 7:20 Nats Braves. That's a big series from Atlanta. Steven Strasburg and Max Fried. And the Mariners at the Astros at 8 o'clock. You have Marco Gonzalez and Wade Miley. They purposely didn't put any late night games because I think they didn't want any rating conflicts with the NFL. So that was pretty smart by Major League Baseball to do that. Mariners, Astros, there's no conflict with any of those teams. Oh, the Cubs play at 7. Oh, the Cubs Brewers, that's funny because the Bears and the Packers played tonight. Well, we'll get to that game later. So those two teams are playing at the same time as their football counterparts. So that's pretty funny. And then the White Sox are off for Chicago. So all eyes will be on Cubs Brewers and Packers Bears for those Chicago and Milwaukee area sports fans. One baseball story I want to hit on before I move on to the FIBA World Cup. Steven Strasburg, it's reported by MLB.com that he's likely to opt out of his contract this year and become a free agent. There is an increasing speculation among industry sources that the Nationals righty will leave team this offseason. So that's very interesting. Then that makes him, I think, the second best pitching free agent on the market behind Garrett Cole. I think this guy is going to get paid. He's had a nice year this year with the Nats. Not a spectacular season like Cole is having with Houston, but he's having a solid season, and I think somebody's going to overpay him, just like somebody overpaid Patrick Corbin. Ironically, that same Washington Nationals team overpaid Patrick Corbin. So teams like the Astros, if they want to go that route, if Cole leaves, maybe the Yankees, if they're not sold on Luis Severino being the real deal once he recovers from his injury. If they're not sold on Herman long term, I could see them going in that direction, although they really haven't been overpaying for starting pitching in terms of free agents, probably since Masahiro Tanaka. But that was somebody that they had to get at the time, let's be honest about that. And so you never know. Another one is his division rival Philly, so maybe he joins Bryce Harper in Philadelphia. I wouldn't rule that out for Strasburg. But this is another conversation for another day because there's a lot to get to today. But I just wanted to throw that breaking news out there on the podcast. Okay, now we're going to move on to the FIBA World Cup. There were a couple games this morning that went final. And then the second round of group play begins tomorrow. Group E. United States kills Japan 98-45. Good little bounce back after that near loss for U.S. Jason Tatum's only going to miss 2 games, is what I read. So that injury is not as bad as I speculated. So that's good for Team USA. And let's face it, that's better for the Boston Celtics as they tried to get themselves back into the NBA championship picture for the 2019-20 NBA season. Czech Republic over Turkey 91-76. So the two teams that advance here are U.S. and Czech Republic. Obviously, Czech Republic and Turkey was a elimination game. So it looks like that Czech Republic moves on. So good for them. Group F. Brazil over Montenegro 84-73. Greece over New Zealand 103-97. So Giannis' team advances and Brazil advances as well. Group G. Germany over Jordan 96-62 and France over the Dominican Republic 90-56. So France and the DR advance. Group H. Canada over Senegal 82-60 and Australia over Lithuania 87-82. So Australia and Lithuania advance. So here we go. Group I tomorrow. You have Poland versus Russia and Argentina against Venezuela. So these are two very interesting games. Poland-Russia is going to be the first game. And this is going to be a real interesting one, I'd say. Because Poland and Russia are teams that played well in the first round. Obviously, all four of these teams did. They advanced. So, for the first set of games for Group I, I'm going to pick Poland over Russia and Argentina over Venezuela for Group I tomorrow. Group J tomorrow, you have Serbia and Puerto Rico and Spain and Italy. Again, four teams that all deserve to advance. I'm going to take... I'm going to go with Serbia and Spain in their first set of games. Although this sounds really chalky. And then Group K begins on Saturday. We'll talk about that tomorrow, as well as Group L. And by the way, a sexy Group K opener with the United States against Giannis and Greece. Week 1 of the NFL season begins tonight as the Green Bay Packers go to Chicago, Soldier Field, to take on Mitch Trubisky and the Chicago Bears. A lot of changes with both sides of these teams. We'll start with the Packers. Obviously, Matt LaFleur's in at head coach now. And then you've made some changes to defense. Adrian Amos, the former Bear, is now a Packer. So a little revenge on Amos' mind. You have an improved linebacking core with Preston Smith and Zadarius Smith. Both teams have solid offensive lines. You have, with Green Bay, David Bakhtiari and Brian Bulaga. And then at the wideouts, you have Devontae Adams and Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Aaron Jones, I'm not as super big on, but I won't be surprised if he has a solid year. Let's switch over to the Bears. Trubisky pressures on him to improve on last year. You have a new running back in Mike Montgomery, who you drafted. Tariq Cohen returning punts, and he's a good tailback as well. You have Allen Robinson and Anthony Miller and Taylor Gabriel as your receivers. You have Trey Burton at tight end. An offensive line that showed improvement a year ago. Kyle Long, who I absolutely love. I think he's one of the more underrated linemen in the league. Charles Leno's good. Cody Whitehair's good. James Daniels is good. Pass rush is among the best in the league, led by Khalil Mack and Akeem Hicks. You have a linebacking core that's going to be better with expected improvement from guys like Leonard Floyd and Roquan Smith. The secondary is among the best in the league. Kyle Fuller, Eddie Jackson. And then they added Clinton Dix, the former Packer. So that's another guy that has possible revenge on his mind as well. Green Bay has the special teams advantage, although Mason Crosby was rumored to be cut in the preseason. But the Bears have a hole at kicker. But that said, the better team is the Chicago Bears, in my opinion. They are home. I think that crowd's going to be behind them. I think that Khalil Mack will get to Rodgers a few times. And I think that Trubisky will put up a fine performance to get the Bears off to a 1-0 start. So give me the Chicago Bears with a 26-20 victory to kick off the NFL season. All right. Best bet of the day brought to you by DraftKings. There's going to be some interesting options on the slate for today. I can go with tennis, I can go with football, and I can go, obviously, with baseball. So, without further ado, here we go. Okay, I'm going to start with football, and I'm going to take the Chicago Bears. I feel very good about the Bears' chances tonight against the Packers. And I don't want to put the -3.5 in the best bet. I'm just going to do it on the money line. I'm going to go over to baseball, and I'm going to take the Cleveland Indians, the St. Louis Cardinals, the Oakland Athletics. I'm not going with the Rays because that team has absolutely killed me in best bets this year. And the Houston Astros. Those are going to be the 4 for baseball. And then the U.S. Open Women's, I'm going to go with Serena and then Bianca Andreescu, who's actually favored over Bencic, by the way. So that adds up to a shade above 17-1, wagering 90 cents, payout of $16.24. That's it for the podcast today. I'll be back tomorrow recapping Bears-Packers and picking the rest of Week 1 slate. I'm going to be picking Week 2 for college football, both tomorrow and Saturday's games, FIBA World Cup, baseball, tennis, and anything else that happens in the world of sports. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.